You have reached the Geek Elite. Good luck.
Hey there, Screen Beans. Have you heard about Screen Snark?
Rachel, this is an ad break. They aren't screen beans until they listen to the show.
Fine. Potential Screen Beans. You like movies and TV shows, right?
I mean, who doesn't? Screen Snark is a casual conversation about the movies and television shows that are shaping us as we live our everyday lives.
That's right, Matt. We have a chat with at least one incredible guest every episode, hailing from all walks. We've interviewed chefs,
Writers, costumers, musicians,
yoga teachers, comedians, burlesque dancers,
folks in the film and TV industry,
and more.
We'd be delighted for you to join us every other Monday on the Certain POV Podcast Network.
Or wherever you get your podcasts, fresh and tasty off the presses.
What? That's not...
Can I call them Screen Beans now?
Fine.
Screen Beans!
So tune in and we'll see you at the movies or on a couch somewhere.
'Cause you're all Screen Beans now.
She will be mine. Aurora.
Welcome, listeners. Welcome, JV Pickers. Host Sway here, back with Working Together to bring you a playlist worth getting lost to by our collective brain trust. This week's theme is Vulgar Display of Lyrics. So grab your quarters, pick your dibs. Geek Elite Media presents Jukebox Vertigo. We have a pretty packed table. Going around, we have ourselves, again, another Geek Elite member. Please welcome John.
Hey.
Hey, buddy. Tell our listeners, what do you do around Geek Elite? And also, what do you do around?
I mainly participate on the Geeks Watch, which is probably one of the longest running podcasts that is on the network. And we just started diving into, like, everybody kind of does a little bit of everything. So we also rebooted VHS Gems, which originally was hosted by, like, 3 other people. And kind of took a break, and we brought it back. So now Jess Bailey, who's been on this podcast also, is running it, and I'm kind of providing some colorful commentary on that.
Dope.
And I also occasionally, when I'm not having a huge case of writer's block, also write articles for the website.
Nice. Awesome. Thank you for all everything you've contributed to Geek Elite. We actually have one of the classics. So after this, of course, Daniel is joining us with almost messing up his picks.
Hey. That is very true.
No, I'm pretty sure your picks are going to be just fine. I know some of your music tastes, and I know you have it in you on some of these picks. On all of your picks. And of course, as always, we're going to have ourselves some Keith.
Yo, so this begins my marathon this week of my first of 5 podcasts I'll be recording in the next 3 days. So, yeah, this should be fun. I'm pretty excited. I took the week off work, though. So.
Oh, that's good. Everybody having a good Comic-Con week so far? Taking a little break from music so far for a second? I haven't seen any panels yet, but I know I'm going to have to
There's nothing to watch yet. Wednesday, They did a 20-minute preview of G.I. Joe Snake Eyes.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that was on Wednesday. Today, there was only 10 panels, and they were all educational-based. But I believe Matt Fraction and Kelly Sue were on one of them, so I will watch that one.
Dope. Yeah,
but it's mostly about using comics in the classroom, tabletop RPGs in the classroom, things like that.
Nice. I've actually really been enjoying Elsa's Chivarity, a French artist that worked on November. She has like a comics educational YouTube channel. It's really, really cool. Mm-hmm. So now, moving forward, let's talk about our recommendations. This is my list. This part, the bottom part. I'll be quick as possible because there were very little singles, but a lot of fucking albums. So let's get down to it. Really quick note: Who Killed XIX with their song "Spy?" ? They did their slowed version of it, and I think it's my least favorite one because they made 3. It was like the regular one, they made a faster version that should sound like their sound, and then now the slowed one. And I was like, you know what? Let's just give all of them a go. After that, Molly Brazy, super aggro woman rapper with T.O.B. It's like literally like about like less than 2 minutes long, but it's just her spitting her shit. Really weird, really good stuff. And then Crozen, fucking, I wish he was here. I wanted him to talk about Jean Grey. Did you listen to it, Keith, on our chat?
No.
He doesn't send us a link, and Lupe Fiasco posted it. But the song's called Jean Grey, and it is played to Telepatia by Kali Uchis. Like that's the sample, and it's just like a really good rap on top of it. Dude, go back to our chat after this. I'd listen to it because it's mwah, dude, I fucking love it. Just by the sound of it, I was like, ooh, I know this. Like this is really good. But I didn't want to be like that cliche, like, this sounds like Kali Uchis, because I feel like everything right now sounds like Kali Uchis because I'm just like a fan of the album. But then sure enough, like she comes in with like, they put her in the hook. I was like fucking hoping she would be part of it. Really, really good song. I gave a quick listen to Apes of God, the new single by Sepultura. It is good, but the cliche is not the same without Max. So I went back and listened to Go Ahead and Die really quick, just for a little palate cleanser. And yeah, listen to Go Ahead and Die, Max Cavalera's new band. That's just a great project. Then, man, this was awesome. Sochi pulled out this one, seeing the article first. Childish Gambino. Well, actually, no, let's call her out first. Brittany Howard went over and asked Childish Gambino if he can come out of the woodwork and just actually like, yo, can you just make a fucking song for a change with me, for me? And Donald said yes. Fucking Childish answered the fucking call, and thank God, because I mean, you can only imagine his DMs to be at least a feature. It has to be just as long as the locked DMs that T-Pain had for like the last 5 years. I still think that's so fucking funny. But this was really good. Any of you got a chance to listen to this? He covered Brittany Howard's "Stay High" from her album Jamie.
Yeah.
Man, okay. I was literally transported back in time to that sweet spot of Childish where it was just like after Because the Internet, right before Stone Mountain Kauai. It sounded like that vibe, and I was just like, it took me to a really, really good fucking time. And just like, it also made me kind of angry that Childish Gambino has just been so busy. And I get it, but I hate that that's who that man is. So give us more stuff, Childish, please. And then coming down to my favorite singles of the last 2 weeks was Vows also covered Womanizer. I've been having the dumbest of funnest times with this song. It's just like your industrial goth version of Womanizer, and I'm not saying it's better, but I'm saying that it's not wrong either, and it's just like it's so fucking fun. I really, really liked it. And then my last single is Lil Sims with "I Love You, I Hate You." That was really like such a chill vibe to listen to. I mean, I fucking love UK rap. And then how she just comes in and just like lays down her bars, like her verses. And then with the sample, like, "I love you, I hate you." Like, it's just like, it's really fucking good. I just like that was probably like my favorite single of the week. Now coming down to the albums. So the first 5 are almost like re-releases and / extras. Like Joyce Manor re-released. It was like the 10th anniversary of their self-titled, the first album. Eros Ramazzotti with Donde Hay Música, with goddamn it started to make me feel old with their 25th anniversary. So I was 4 when this album came out, and I fucking love this album. Like thanks to my mom, like thank you for playing this shit like on cleaning days. Like this shit was awesome, and has always been. It's like the voice of this Italian, just like, and I love like how he would do like the duo album, like the actual Italian, the actual Spanish Castellano version for the Western Hemisphere. But damn it, that was just like a wake up call. I was like, fuck, 25 years of this shit. Then number 3, Citizen with their Glass Mix 3 EP. This continues their release of that last album, but just like how they put it, the alternate version, but it's really almost like the acoustic version of all the songs. And then back to back, like the last one had, I can't remember what song it was, but in this one, the extra song is in the middle of it all, which is not even a new song. It's actually just a song from their last album, so it's just like weird that they're just like throwing it on here too. I just kind of want that one explained. After that, there was this one was probably like my bad listen to of the week. I used to really actually like this band when I was in high school and kind of like some of this vibe. But 18 Visions, hard rock metal-ish band. So they kind of like broke up, took a hiatus for like 10 years, came back in 2017, and threw like 2 other albums. And they came back this week with 1996, and it's a covers album. It's a half. They'd call it hardcore metal. No, yeah, a hardcore metal half, and the second one is more of a hard rock album. They cover a Nirvana song. Yeah, honestly, I just did not like this project. It didn't sound that good. It honestly, the whole time, it made me want to go back and listen to the Neo Trail album because I just really, really liked the Neo Trail album. I don't know what it was. It just had that charm on me. So, last almost re-release extras is the Distillers had a Live in Lockdown album, and this is, I'm pretty sure it was from their live stream. I actually had to get tickets to back in Christmas. It almost has like a Christmas cover album with also like their punk take on it. But yeah, I mean, it's just Brody Dahl doing her thing, and she's just will forever be my Aussie goddess. So that was actually fun too. Now for new stuff, Chet Faker with Hotel Surrender. It's just your other Chet Faker album. If you like Chet Faker, go to it. It's okay. My good chill listen to this week was Clairo with Sling. This is like, man, if you want a good night vibes, like just good night chill music, Clairo with Sling, oh, you're gonna have a good time, a good chill time. And then Atmosphere had Word ? The side A EP. So I definitely want to give it more of a deep dive if there's a side B to go along with this, and just give like the whole project a go, because it's Atmosphere, it's Slug, Ant doing their thing. The first song's called Fleetwood, so it's just 4 songs. It goes probably really quick. Man, this next one was a really cool project. Serge Tankian, again, why isn't Crows in here when I need him? Serge Tankian had Cool Gardens Poetry Suite. Did any of you listen to this?
I did not know.
No. It's all music made by him. It's just like not your System of a Down, not even mostly his solo stuff when he goes kind of bonkers. It's really chill, just a cafe setting of him taking over the piano and some extra instruments, and then literally just dropping some spoken word poetry. It's not your conventional album. It's very much, when you think of it, of Serge doing his next new experiment. And man, like the shit he drops is going to be very Serge as well. So if you like the man, I think you're going to enjoy this too, especially if you just take it for what it is. Mm-hmm. After that, okay, we're getting down to the serious ones. Pop Smoke with Faith. Yeah. Okay, I did like the Pop Smoke album. It was good. I fucking love the Pop Smoke. I will say, I mean, it's like, and that's the thing. Like, I loved all the features. But I feel like it was a little feature heavy, and it almost like took away a little too much from Pop Smoke. Not saying because like the whole thing just really was highlighting his death and like how much we're still going to be missed out on. I hope there's still other songs like left out, like that they're still working or still fixing to master or at least finish off in a Tupac way. Because like fucking A, when he comes on, it just takes over. I love the song with 21 Savage and how he calls him out. I mean, he drops a line with him and as a punchline, but it's really good.
I think jumping in there, I think it was very heavy on the guest verses because they were unfinished songs. He died before completing them.
I know, yeah.
So I think they kind of had to do that to make sure that they were complete songs, you know?
Right. No, I get that. It just for a Pop Smoke album, I guess the way best I can put it, it felt like everybody having a good time with Pop Smoke, and Boy was just like, I miss you, bud. Like fucking that last song. He was just awesome. Okay. Next album that was also just like incredible in a very, very chill setting compared to just like how he can just like hype himself up to just be kind of aggro in his own way. Vince Staples with the self-titled. That shit was really good. Oh man. Really and I've been excited for this one too with the single last week with the first song. And yeah. Are you with that? Yeah. Are you with that? And as soon as it starts with that, it's like you almost like know what you're getting yourself into. And this one for sure, I was playing back to back because it was just something I I was actually just gravitated towards too. Then Waves. I don't know if you know this band, this rock band, Waves with Hideaway. This one was a lot of fun. They have a song that's basically titled "My Hero is Dave Grohl," basically. Or all I want to do is meet Dave Grohl. It's something along a line of that. But this one, Hideaway, was a lot of fun. Definitely recommend people listen to Waves. It's Waves with 2 V's. So yeah, that one. And then my last two, it's my 2 favorite ones since like one from last week and one from 2 weeks ago. The 2 weeks ago one is DuckTales with Impressions. This is probably one of my favorite indie albums of, I don't want to say of the year, but maybe. It was just what I want from like an indie album or from like that indie band that it's just like kind of hard to describe. It just has those sounds, those hooks, and like this, I don't know, just like those random guitar riffs that are just there. And then, fuck, the best thing ever. Not of the year, but damn it, was I just like really amped up for this from the beginning. Willow, Lately I Feel Everything. And man, this actually delivered everything I was expecting from for Willow to just like to be very experimental with her own genre, to just like branch out and just try anything, and it works. Fuck yeah, like all day long. This one to be like her pop punk rock album, really, it fucking worked. The second song, Fuck You, to be a Riot Girl song, like almost like a staple Riot Girl song, to just follow in with Gaslight and just charge in with all of that energy. I fucking love Gaslight just because of how it Fuck You made me feel. And the whole thing just bops. I fucking just thoroughly enjoy this one. This one's for sure on repeat constantly, like since it came out. Yeah, those are all my recommendations. I hope one of them sticks. Again, Willow will probably still be on my repeats throughout the year because it's just catchy tunes after catchy tunes. Now, John, tell us a little bit, what kind of music do you like, have grown up with, and then follow in, of course, with your recommendations.
Okay. That is a very loaded question because that's changed quite a bit. So I would say I really kind of started to develop musical taste around high school when I actually started to get exposed to different things. Because growing up, all I would hear is what my parents heard. And a lot of that was Mexican music. There was a lot of Wookiees, a lot of the bandas, my mom was a big fan of the... and that dude's still touring. Like, he still sells out. Like, that guy's amazing. Then my mom also really liked the more romantic singers like Jose Jose and
baby.
Yeah. So
hell yeah.
But like growing up with that kind of made me really dislike it. And I became really like, I think in the early 90s, my first single I ever bought was the Addams Family Rap by MC Hammer. And,
oh my God.
And I felt like I was like growing up at that point. I was like, this thing is awesome. Played that thing nonstop. And then from there, I think I became like an edgy teenager, and I was like, well, I only like rock music, country and rap sucks.
Yep, that was me too.
And eventually, as I became older and hopefully wiser, I just started to appreciate something and everything. So I can't say there's any specific genre I don't like. There was even, and I know this for a fact because there used to be a group. It was a duet. It was two girls. They went by the name Prussian Blue. If you never heard of them, they were they looked like the Olsen twins. They were little girls, like 8, 9 years old, but they sang neo-Nazi anthems.
Fuck.
In like the sweetest voices. And
What the fuck?
that it created such a weird schism in my brain. I was like, this is really good, and they sing really well, but their lyrics are horrifying. And it just, that kind of was what broke me out of that mold of like, oh, well, you can't really just lump something into like a category. There's something in everything, even in this really horrible, hate-filled music. There was something about it that was still like, there's talent here being used for maybe the wrong purposes, but very, very talented. I think eventually they deconverted and now they might be decent human beings, but I don't know. I haven't kept up with them. This was late 90s, early 2000s. So since then, I've just kind of tried to be a citizen of the world when it comes to music. Around that high school time, I also started to get exposed to Spanish rock, which I wasn't when it was actually popular at the time. If you haven't watched it, there's an awesome documentary on Netflix about the history of Spanish rock. It's great. It covers pretty much all the bases up until the early 2010s. And it's just really interesting watching that evolution. A lot of those Mexican rock bands started off as essentially not copycats, but let's just say very heavily inspired by American acts.
Oh, please, just call it Caifanes when it is, like The Cure.
Yeah, Caifanes literally looked like The Cure and they sounded the same. But then after that first album, like most of these bands break out. Like people will probably hate me if I say that Soda Stereo was like a Police ripoff. But
I mean,
we're a Police
it's the trio. It's the but Gustavo overseeing any fucking day.
Yes, absolutely, no doubt. So from there, it just became like now I just listen to different things. Like usually my playlist is random, and it's just whatever comes next. Like the algorithm knows enough of my taste that like the next thing that comes on is like, oh, that sounds really cool. What language is this? Like Albanian? Okay, cool. And if I don't like it, then I just skip, but I don't tell it not to play it again because maybe I just wasn't in the mood for it that particular moment. I always like to re-listen to things also.
Oh, dope. That's actually a really good take. I should stop doing that. Just start doing that and stop doing that, what you did.
Just,
so cool.
Just tell it, no, never again.
No, honestly, I feel like I took a similar path with music, especially where it's like the whole banda thing was just like at parties, I like play like literally anything else. But I get you, like the Jose stuff, the Juan Gabriel part was like more of like stuff that internally on my part that I was like going through until I was ready to come out. But other than that, it was just like the pick and choose a few. But I guess like my parents were one of like the younger ones like that. I grew up with like the Spanish rock as them putting their music onto me. So like I grew up with that shit. It's like, yeah, like Enanitos Verdes, like Eres de Silencio, all that shit was just like my childhood. So it gave me more of an easy way to be like, oh, like fuck rap in my angsty high school years. But yeah, no. So tell me, what have you been listening to?
Oh, so I kind of vacillate between like really happy songs and really sad songs. There's kind of no real middle ground for me. So like my recent listens are basically that. Like there's this song by Placebo that just came across my radar that really struck me. Because I like Placebo. They have a song called Loud Like Love that's just like, man, this is just like a happy, like, want to go jogging to this song kind of music. But the song called Bosco really struck me because if you've ever felt like you were the one that messed up a good relationship, this song is going to be like pouring salt and vinegar over that wound. Like this really just brings that idea forward, front and center. Like, I had a good thing and I just totally fucked it up. and
in hindsight, it was me the whole time.
Yeah. And like, and I knew it the whole time too, actually. Like it like literally the lyrics say, I did you harm because I can for the second time today. I was like, oh, that really just kind of sticks in me. And then, so to kind of cheer myself up a little bit from that, there's a really cool song I like. It's not exactly an instrumental, but it's very light on vocals. It's by the band called Starfucker.
Oh, I fuck with that.
Yes, yeah. And the song that's really been playing like for me a lot lately is Golden Light. Mm-hmm. It just has such a good bass line. It just like it's got a groove. And recently I started playing again because whole side project thing that's going on. You'll probably hear about it here very soon. Started picking up bass again, and that one just really has such a nice groove that you can play along with. It's simple, but very effective. I highly recommend. I've heard a few others by Starfucker. Don't know too much of their discography, but what I've heard so far, I really like. It's really good. And I would say the other thing I would recommend, this is probably my number one right now. I think I listen to this song at least once every day for like the last 3 or 4 months.
Huh, nice. I get that.
That's how much I like this song. Yeah, this song is like my warm-up song for going to the gym, which I also started doing a lot more recently because, it's getting up there in age and things aren't getting any more limber, so gotta start working on it. And this song just has like that perfect pace to start off with like a gentle trot, and it builds up until you're at a full sprint. And the only way I can describe this song is that it's a little whimsical. It reminds me of A Day in the Life by the Beatles.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
In so much that A Day in the Life starts off mellow, and then it has that crazy buildup with like the orchestra, and then it becomes like a completely different song for a few measures. And then it goes kind of back to that weird whimsical thing. Well, this one's like that, except that rather than going up and down, it's just a continuous up. It starts off kind of trotting, kind of whimsical. It's all about like basically not having the balls to go talk to a girl and you're completely missing out on it, which is something I can totally relate to. And it's like a song in 3 acts because it starts to build in pressure and frustration. It starts to quicken the pace until by the end, it's like a self-actualization, like a moment of like, aha, and everything just gels together and you're like in a full run. And it sounds great. And it's a good warm-up song. It's like I put it on the treadmill, start going at it, and I don't even feel it. I just transition right into that jog.
What's the name of it?
That is Just Kiss Her by Concord.
Nice. Okay. Not heard it. Concord.
And what I especially really like about it is that the singers sound like they're French because they have really heavy accents. So you'll definitely be like, oh, that's definitely not his first language, but it still comes through.
Nice.
All right, and Daniel, what have you been listening to?
Not a whole lot has changed. Well, actually, no, I actually threw in some pop in here. So I've been listening to like Calvin Harris, Dua Lipa. Well, Calvin is more EDM. Tropical House, just to get those summer vibes out there, even though I haven't been hanging out much by the pool. Matoma, so Tropical House. Benny Blanco again with pop. And Tiesto with the EDM, but I've been listening to, again, told you guys earlier before the recording, me and Isaac have been on Metalocalypse Death Clock kind of binge, so that's what we've been listening to as well. Bring Me the Horizon, and then Strapping Young Lad. Really, I know it's kind of everywhere, but yeah, that's all I've been really.
That's what we do here.
Yeah, I love it. On some Daft Punk too.
Daft Punk? Ooh, okay, yeah. Just random songs?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh, God, it's just, I have to like pick my days when I go back to Daft Punk. It just hurts. Like, it's like, why couldn't you just make the trilogy for Alive 2017? That's all I wanted.
It was supposed to happen.
It was supposed to, but it was like, not, I mean, this was also like way the fuck pre-COVID, so it was like, whatever the fuck didn't happen, it was just like for their own bullshit, and it's like, could have had something special there.
We're too good. We don't want to do it.
I mean, maybe it'll see in space.
Maybe.
So
anyway.
Daniel,
yeah.
I have to ask, how was the show?
Oh, that show was awesome. They're always great. I've seen them 8 times now, so and they bring the full production. This time they brought more lights. The costumes are always the same, but they brought more lights, so you got more of that light show than anything else. And
Yeah.
they always mix in their own, songs in there, personal songs that they've written, or songs that are currently like big hits right now on the radio. So they do a good job blending everything together.
Nice.
Fuck yeah. And Keith, what was on your list of listens?
Not too much this time. You already talked about Pop Smoke and Vince Staples. I did listen to both of those. I preferred the Vince Staples album, but that's more of my style of hip hop. I like lay on the beach hip hop. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of like what I call dip hop, because you can take a dip. So I really enjoyed that album, and you and me kind of talked about it because it's so chill. It's so mellow, and it's just, and it also flies by. It's only like 20 minutes. It's
it's so quick.
I wanted it to be 3 times as long. So, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I listened to the Willow album. It was fine. It didn't blow me away.
Oh man,
it is cool that that's Willow Smith. That was my main hook. Wasn't like, oh, I love this song, or this is really cool. I was like, oh, this is Willow Smith. It's cool that she's doing this. But I wasn't like, oh, this is one of my favorite songs now. I was just kind of happy it was Willow. You know what I mean? So
it just bops. It was just like it was so catchy, and it was just from the beginning, just like getting Travis Barker on. I thought I was like, okay, well, that's a cool collab.
Yeah.
Might not ever happen again. But then when Lipstick came out, it's like, oh, is this what we're expecting? This is what I've been fucking waiting for her. So cool.
Yeah. I went back to Busta's album from last year, ELE2. So good. That was so good. I loved it. I can't remember if it won Hip Hop Album of the Year last year for us on our awards, but it should have. I know I nominated it. I know that much. So, I also went back to Mos Def Black on Both Sides, one of my favorite albums of all time. I listened to that quite a bit. And then the usuals, your Beach Bunnies, Beach Bunny, Best Coast, all of them. So, the last one I want to talk about is a new release, and I'm probably the only person who listened to it, not just on this podcast, but on the planet. John Mayer put out a new album.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it, please.
Sob Rock or something like that.
It was strangely good.
I'll believe you.
He embraced a real 80s vibe.
Okay.
Like a Duran Duran vibe. But he was still... I can't remember who I was talking to. It might have been... Yeah, it was Crozen. He said it perfectly. He says, yeah, it's so 80s, but it's also definably John Mayer. It's definitely a John Mayer album, but it's got this 80s influence to it. And I really actually liked the album, but then one song's called Why You No Love Me, which, man, there's so many problems there. And just as an English major and a writer, just him going, why you no love me over and over, I was like, dude, no, this is bad. That shut me off of the whole album, but the rest of the album is actually very good. If you like that kind of stuff. It doesn't sound like a John Mayer album, though. I will tell you that.
It does or doesn't?
It doesn't. You can tell it's John Mayer, but it's got such an 80s vibe that if you generally hate a John Mayer album, you might want to give this one a shot.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If you like that 80s slightly overproduced singer-songwriter kind of like thing, your Flock of Seagulls kind of sound, it's just different. It's very different. And I applaud him for trying something different. So
there you go.
But that was my main new release. The only other thing is I have to say is listen to Fickle Friends. As always, Fickle Friends, best band in the world. So.
Awesome. Sweet. Wrote some of these down. John, thank you for your recommendations. I'm definitely gonna give that Placebo one a shot, and that Concord one was actually a good shout out. So now to get to the serious stuff. Fresh new page, vulgar display of lyrics. Gentlemen, how was your journey on getting into some of these picks? Let's go with John's. John picks John's brain a little bit. Did you have to hide your vulgar songs as a kid? Like when you started making your own playlist, started getting your own music? Did you have to hide it from your parents?
No. Actually, funny story. My parents were very hands-off with me with pretty much anything entertainment-wise. They let me watch R-rated movies when I was way too young to be doing so.
Nice.
And I remember one of the first CDs I ever bought was Astro Creep 2000. And I remember putting it in the car for the first time because I was like, I got it with my own money. I had a summer job. And my mom was like, what is this? I was like, oh, is this my favorite song right now? Now, I'd never heard the unedited version. I've only heard the radio version. So we put it on, and for the first time hearing More Human Than Human with all of those porno sound effects at the beginning.
In the very beginning.
With my mom driving, I just remember her tensing up on the steering wheel, but she didn't say anything. I just pressed skip.
You didn't wait for what? You didn't damn it. Yeah, no, they go on for forever.
Yeah, that lasted way too long. That was an eternity of just letting that happen. But other than that, it's they never really cared. They pretty much figured pop culture was harmless for the most part. So yeah, they had no restrictions on anything I could listen to. But I didn't really have access to a lot of really vulgar stuff growing up. It wasn't until much later I started to discover, through other channels, there's some pretty gnarly things out there. And yeah, so that kind of just broadened my taste. I honestly don't think until really the advent of the internet and peer-to-peer sharing that's when things kind of took a turn, and I was like, oh, there's some colorful stuff out there. I remember the first time I was introduced to a band called Gravy Train, I think.
Oh, damn.
I was like, whoa. And these are women, which is actually going to inform a lot of my choices tonight. So, yeah, that kind of, it definitely cemented something in me of like, no, yeah, girls can do this game just as well, if not even harsher. So,
Yeah. Again, one of my picks, but we'll get to those spoilers. No, I totally get you though. Like, I mean, when I was introduced, like the peer-to-peer sharing, it was just like when I was introduced to Head P by a friend, it was just like, holy fuck, what? But yeah, so Daniel, I know you love your all your bad songs.
Yeah.
Are you getting ready to share?
So with me, it was just like I always had older cousins, so older cousins were always, like, hey, you're gonna listen to this, so, they put on a Eminem song and heard, like, F-bombs after F-bombs. I was like, what is this? And then, one of my neighbors, was a little bit older, and she put this song, Put It In Your Mouth, kind of, I don't know if you guys knew it, but that was really dirty, and it's still ingrained in his brain. I can still sing it because it's there. So, I got introduced to the vulgar stuff way younger than I should have been. Parents were a little bit strict on the material I could watch, but with music, they didn't really care as long as it wasn't, like satanic or anything like that. So
yeah, I feel that too. It was mostly like the shit that would be on TV that would be like, hey, what's that? Or you shouldn't be watching that. But mostly music, because it would definitely be very hypocritical of even from like my dad back then. My mom, like, not really. She didn't care, but like, you just like, if my dad would say something and be like, well, the next thing you're gonna put on is just gonna be either bad or just worse. It's like, whatever the fuck. So, and Keith, how was your road to getting your collection of vulgar songs? Because this is one of your themes that you've thrown out into the void, into our void.
Yeah, so I have a weird relationship with vulgar songs because I don't typically. Well, nowadays I curse quite a bit, but like I typically like just cursing for the sake of it. I've never liked. I've always thought it was kind of like anti-poetic, and that bothered me. I didn't like Panic at the Disco for a long time. Really? Just because they said "goddamn," and I was like, and it was a weird offbeat, so it was like clearly put in there, and I was like, I just basically wrote off this whole band for years because I was like, that's so fucking cheap. I don't like that at all, so I just hated them. So I'm weird about that, but I do like songs that are considered vulgar, and I like when they do it in a creative and fun way. Mm-hmm. I also like, and this is going to sound contradictory to everything I just said, where a song is so blatantly vulgar that it's obviously an attempt to make a point about vulgarity that I absolutely love. Like, just shove it in your face. So it I don't know, it's just kind of, and it's going to depend on the artist. You know what I mean? Like, certain artists, one I'm going to bring up a little bit later, I'll elaborate a little bit more, but one of the filthiest artists in history, but done in such a way that you can't help but respect. You know what I mean? Like, it's just wonderful. So, yeah. So I guess, you know me, the main thing I always mention is, I'm a lyrics person, lyrics first, usually for me. And I just kind of see it through that point of view, I guess. So.
Nice. Well, let's get down to our sharing with our filthy minds and our filthy ears. And we're going to drop. So for my first one, I'm going to start kind of slow, kind of light. Still going to be very vulgar, but it's very much, to start off, it'll be the Foreplay song. And this song, yes, it is part of my Sexy Times playlist, because how could it not be? It's Bum on Jeans by Kid Cudi. And keep in mind, this is a song that's not rated, like, it doesn't have the explicit E on its track, when it very much should. At no point does it really ever say out loud a fuck or a shit or an actual bad word. But god damn it, the more you listen to, the more Kid Cudi just takes you down the path of the Sexy Times. And the whole song is just fucking getting down to foreplay. And it's like right before it all comes down. but just the way he just comes down, it's like so slow. Like there's a part where he's like, give me your hand, put it here. Like this is where like on my heart. This is where you start. Only I don't think it's as hard where he's putting her hand. It is a very sexy song, and it is a damn vulgar song just by being so damn clever and sexy. And this is from the Kid Cudi Presents Satellite Flight: The Journey to Mother Moon, which is one of those. It's this album, but it's more of a long EP. This shit should have been called an EP, or at least like an extended EP, an EEEP, because it's just there's some great instrumentals, but it's just like it's not really an album per se. But I still fucking love it. People just like bag on it. It's not fair because whatever. It's still really good. But Bum on Jean,
I mean, it's 10 tracks and it's twice as long as the album we were reviewing earlier. So it's 40 minutes. So.
But I'm saying like it's like the vibe of it all. It's like for Kid Cudi, he should just called that his own like personal EP project over an album. Only because like it was just such an interlude to like he was like already promising for Man on the Moon 3, and that didn't come out for another 5 years. And that's really what it is. So as an EP for the weight of would have been really cool. Anyway, but that was my first one. If you guys haven't listened to it, it's a damn good sexy song. John, what is your first pick?
Okay, so as I was stating, women with dirty minds left an impression on me. Yeah. So the first one I want to pick is Peaches, Dick in the Air. And this is because not only is it kind of a dirty song, it's also a challenge to men. I'm very like sex positive and gender equality. And she's basically saying, hey, we've been doing this for years. It's your turn. Give us something back now. Put your dick in the air. And it's got what I would call a very moany bass line. It's got one of those bass lines where it's very subdued until the chorus kicks in, and then it's in your face, ready to blast your head off. Like it's just a powerful bass line. Listen to this song in the best headphones or the strongest bass you have available, because when that part kicks in, you're gonna feel it.
I'm saving my bass right now, turning these off. Excellent. Thank you for the addition, Daniel. You're up.
Oh God, I think I'm going pretty heavy on this one. This is my first choice. It's "Mary on a Cross" by Ghost. I know a lot of you guys consider it, spooky, groovy Scooby-Doo music, but there's never no cuss words like you mentioned either. But it's literally talking about the Virgin Mary, going down on you, just saying you go down like Virgin Mary, Mother Mary on a cross, and if you come with me, I will tickle you internally. So, it's all about that fun, sexy stuff.
That took a turn into the blasphemous.
I know. Well, it's a good song, though. At least I think so. And I don't think we've ever mentioned Ghost on this playlist before.
At least you're not going to get it from me.
Right.
Crozen might turn them on, which is always fine.
True. But yeah, that's mine. Like blasphemy and pretty vulgar.
I fucking love that Scooby-Doo call. That's probably my favorite bit about this whole thing. Okay, Keith, what is your first one?
I am going to start with my big one.
Mm-hmm.
Prince.
Ooh, yes.
Is the artist I was talking about. That is one of the filthiest artists in history, but does it in such a way that it's just amazing. I'm going to give a quick honorable mention because I was stuck between two songs.
Ooh, okay.
Honorable mention is a song I have added in the past, which is Darling Nikki. Love Darling Nikki. But last episode, Jess laid down a challenge and put a really long song on. And this song isn't as long as the one she put on, but I decided to put on a long-ass 10-minute Prince song called We Can Fuck. And it's amazing. I highly recommend this song. You guys listen to it. It's fantastic. But there's so many absolutely disgusting, filthy Prince songs that you're still... Like, there's some songs out there that are really filthy, but how many of them can you really jam to? You know what I mean? That you can really, like, vibe to. You're like, yeah, this is disgusting. Most of the time you listen to a Vulgar song, you're like, this is great, but you're not like, it's not like an actual, like, this is sexy kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's like, this is more shocking than anything. But Prince is just sexy. That's just the way it works. So
Absolutely.
So yeah, We Can Fuck by Prince.
Man, I'll never forget when we were when I was training for Comcast for his call center job, and the TV, like we had the TV was in the fucking room for at one point, and our instructor, our mentor, was a big black man. For it was two of them, and one of them, he was one that was in charge of the TV. He was like, "Well, what should throw on?" And he saw Purple Rain on, and we were all like, "Hey, fuck yeah, let's watch Purple Rain." He threw it on, and then it became lesson time while it still played on mute, and we all. It took him forever for him to read the room what scene was playing in the back. After a while, oh my god,
that's great.
Because it was the TV. It was like basically like the TV was behind me, and he was just talking to us. It was just like, fuck. It was so good. Man, I fucking love Prince. Okay, thank you. The first rounds are over and really good so far. Round two. My next pick is it's gonna be from my dirty boys from Mexico, Molotov. How could I not? These guys are always poetically vulgar, and I'm gonna go from their second album from 1999, Apocalypse Shit, with their song Rasta Mandita. This song from the fucking get-go. Baila rica nena, más pegadito, baila rica nena, me gusta chi, me gusta chichi, me gusta cha-cha. And from then on, it's just an insane level of vulgarity and then innuendos and slang terms to just make every single line be as dirty as possible to just try to, just to paint the picture for how can this girl just get off by herself. And it is just nasty. It is just so bad. I could have gone with any of their other fucking songs, but this one is just always just makes me crack the fuck up for just how would this be allowed to play on radio? And it would be. And this like before Frijolero, before, I mean, like some of their other stuff that just should just also maybe not have come out. But Molotov was always just so damn catchy. One of the things I still haven't experienced is a set from them and Las Fiestas del Sol from Mexicali. And I've just only been told stories on how just like ape shit, just like the Sonoran cats get on those shows. I mean, I have been to shows there for Caifanes and Jaguares, like both of them. But just like to see everybody go crazy in the mosh pit there, man, I fucking I love that fair. I miss that fair so much. So that's my second pick, Rasta Mandita by Molotov. John, what is your second one?
A real quick side note, I also have some really fond memories at La Fiestas del Sol and seeing bands like Phobia and Soe,
nice.
Café Tacuba. Yeah, dude, Mana always just fills up the Calafia too. Like, it's crazy.
That's the one band. Yeah, like, I mean, like Mana is just like Mana, but it's like I still need to see Enanitos Verdes before I see Mana, because Mana is just like the cliche one. But
I saw Enanitos Verdes when they were touring together with the accordion chick from Tijuana.
Okay.
And
I'm
drawing a blank. Looks like Frida Kahlo. What the heck's her name? And Enrique Bumburi.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was at the 2007 final tour in LA for Héroes, and that for sure will always like hold heart. I skipped out on my sister's birthday, September 28th, to rather go to that show because it's like, yeah, I'll be there to the next.
I was like, she would understand, yeah. Like,
and she did.
You'll have another.
Honestly, it could have been her birthday present instead of mine. Honestly, I have no idea why I went instead of her, but fuck it.
Don't blame you. So my second pick. Katy Perry once came out with a song called "I Kissed a Girl."
Yeah, she did.
Parentheses, and I liked it. Well, there's a more recent song that kind of has the same vibe, but it's a little more explicit. This one is called Slumber Party by Ashniko. And this song, boy, let me tell you, if you've ever wondered what the sensation of being horny feels like in a bass line, it's this one.
Ooh.
Like, this song feels like it's just crawling around in your nethers, just trying to get out. Like, This and the reason why I compare it to I Kissed a Girl is because she literally says in the song, "Oh, I had your girlfriend over for a slumber party. Basically, I ate her out on my couch while we were playing dress up." I was like, "Oh,
That's what's up.
that's what's going on." Yeah. I was like, you know what? I can't even be mad at that. That's kind of amazing. So,
Wait, do you know this song?
No, I don't think so.
Do you know who else is on this song?
No.
Princess Nokia.
Ooh, dope. Okay, fuck yeah.
yeah, and this is one that definitely the video pairs really well with the music. The visuals are pristine. Yeah, very good.
Oh, fuck yeah. If Princess Nokia's on it, it's gonna be a listen. Cool. Anybody else? Oh, I thought somebody was saying something. Anyway, Daniel, what is your second pick?
I think I blew my load a little bit too early on this one. But, honorable mention is going to be Violent Pornography by System of a Down, but I think I'm actually going to go with Cigarro by System of a Down.
Oh, nice.
It's a fucking, random ass lyrics, but it has a pretty nice little groove tone to it, so I'm going to go with Cigarro, especially with
Cigarro.
Much bigger than
man, I forget about Mesmerize.
Yeah.
So Cigarro is your pick?
Yeah, Cigarro.
Fuck yeah. Even still, I would have taken any of them. Like, both great, solid, would have been solid picks. Sweet. So, going over to Keith. Pick number 2.
All right. This is becoming unexpectedly difficult. I'm going to go with a song that is not super vulgar.
Okay.
But was in a situation that was so vulgar that it made me very happy. You guys Josue definitely knows I'm the pop music expert on the group.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of times pop music gets added. It's by me, and I am gonna pick "Side to Side" by Ariana Grande. So
there you go.
Wow.
So first of all, there's a ton of innuendo in this song. Which definitely helps it out with the vulgarity, which is great. The other thing that makes this song incredibly vulgar is she has a little guest verse on there with Nicki Minaj, and Nicki cranks up the vulgarity to 10 for like 20 seconds, and it's great. But the thing that puts this song on the list for me is, you guys might remember this a couple years ago, there was a T-Mobile commercial.
Okay.
And there's like this white lady, and she's driving, and she's running out of data on her T-Mobile phone, and she's listening to Side, and Ariana's in the seat next to her, and they're dancing to it, and then she's like, "I'm running out of data, and I need my navigation app to get home. Sorry, Ariana." And she's like, "Aw," and she turns it off, and they're playing Side to Side in this, and I'm like, you guys know this song is talking about he fucked her so hard she can't walk straight, right? Like, that's literally what it's about. She's saddle sore, guys. Like, she's literally like, she's like, "I've been there all day. I've been here all night. Whoa, you got me walking side to side." That's what it's fucking about. And it's in a T-Mobile commercial. And I was like, what's happening here? And then I was like, I bet they didn't look into what this song is about. And I love that commercial for that very reason. It's literally just this white lady driving, trying to get home, and there's a song in the background and getting fucked so hard you can't walk. So funny to me. It's still just amazing. Plus, it's a really good song. I really, really like that song, and the video is great. Ariana's smoking in that video, by the way. So yeah, Ariana Grande, Side to Side.
What's up, Daniel?
You can't forget about the wrist icicle on that.
Well, yeah. Oh, what was the line? The Nicki line. It was. I got it pulled up right here because she said some of the most horrific shit. It was. It's wrist icicle, ride dick bicycle. Like, if you want a menage, I got a tricycle. Like, fuck, I love her. So, but yeah, yeah, dude, that song is great and vulgar as hell in the right context, especially. So,
fuck yes. Okay, last rounds, everybody. And my last song is going to be, of course, my leading lady in all vulgar, sexy, total hotness. Megan Thee Stallion. Had to fucking be. I mean, I was thinking Snow, but I was like, okay, I put her on twice.
You put 3 Snow songs on here.
But I was like, you know what? Let's give Meg a go. And yeah, my song is definitely going to be from her 2018 Tina Snow album or mixtape. Should have been her first album. Because, okay, yeah, my honorable mention for this one is Freak Nasty. Freak Nasty is just that. It's fucking freak fucking nasty. And here's my side. I'm going to switch. Straight up. Freak Nasty brings up my proud Dom side. Because that's what Megan does. That's what fucking Megan does to me. But also, there's also like a perfect version of the song. And this is the Tiny Desk Megan Thee Stallion version of Freak Nasty. Her going up, like almost like up against with the guitarist to get the beat right. It almost like they challenge each other, and it just sounds fucking perfect. But the song I'm choosing, Big Ol' Freak, is why I'm a switch. Is what this song gets me excited to fucking be a sub. Like, she gets me fucking excited to be a fucking sub. Big Ol' Freak, when she just like starts saying everything, I'm like, boom, 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 boom. Mwah, yes, fucking ma'am. Like, oh my God. Yeah. And then this is the one that she prefers on the Tiny Desk. She prefers Big Ol' Freak. That one is like the one that changed for forever. But no, it's Freak Nasty over there. So I'm adding Big Ol' Freak because it's just like, oh my God. Yes. Yeah. That's my fucking girl. She just makes all of the vulgarity super clever to just be like, it just doesn't sound easy, or just like the way to keep up with her. You're just like, whew, yeah, it's going to be a fucking workout, but it's going to be the best time ever. Okay, that's my time for my song. John.
I love you so much.
I was going to say, I think I found my podcast, guys. This is awesome.
Yes.
This is where I fit in. So,
John,
I'm going to have to... I will be throwing out an honorable mention.
Go for it.
I really like Brooke Candy. She is one ratchet chick, but that's what makes her so interesting and appealing. And so I think she just came out with a new album. Out of the songs, one of them she does a collab with Charlie XCX, which who doesn't, But
yeah.
There's a song that she does on this new album called Come. And it's done in the style of like, it's just you're seeing the webcams of like various either adult film stars or webcammers, and yeah, like it's you feel sticky after watching that video. There's just like a grime that just permeates the screen from seeing it because it's just that nasty. But I'm going to actually switch it the other way around to some sweet perversion. Now, I'd like to consider myself as having the heart of a hopeless romantic, but the brain of just like an 80-year-old pervert. And I like when things are clever, and also dirty. So this last song is by Garfunkel and Oates. It's called God's Loophole.
Oh my God, I was not... Yes!
So this song is all about saving yourself for marriage, but the Bible doesn't say anything apparently about using the back door. And that's the whole song is just Ricky Lindholm and Kate Micucci just singing in like the most adorable harmonies, really rapid-paced lyrics. It's just one of the things I admire the most about them. Like they just fire off lyrics like almost Eminem level and sometimes. And they have lyrics like, whatever you do, don't touch my clitoris. If you ring Satan's doorbell, God can't ignore this. And no prophylactics when you put it in, because birth control's for sluts and it's a sin.
Yeah.
And they're saying this with a straight face. Like, this is so awesome. Like, I just love that. And I was like, oh, I needed more people like this growing up to make me feel like I'm not alone.
No, they're the best. Like, Kate Micucci is just like so fucking funny.
Yeah, they're great. And they're talented musicians too. Like they do all their own music, they perform regularly. It's really great. There's just cool people from the looks of it.
Hell, I was not expecting this entry. I am such a huge fan. Fuck yeah. So, Daniel, what's your last pick?
Just gonna go with another honorable mention. I was gonna go with "Crash Into Me" by Dave Matthews Band. but because that song goes in so many directions, and it's misunderstood that it's such a sweet song, but really it's not that sweet of a song. But since we're kind of going on the dirty side, I'm going to go with and sorry to repeat, but I'm not the first repeater on this show so far. So until now, or I guess second repeater, Stinkfist by Tool.
Okay, wait. Tool, which one?
Stinkfist.
Okay, cool.
Stinkfist by Tool.
Because they really, I think they dropped like one F-bomb, but it's all about, the fisting.
It's the context of it all. We got you.
For the longest time, I thought that song was called Track Number 1, because that's what it was called on MTV when they played it.
Really?
I wonder why.
And it wasn't until like several years later I mentioned it, and somebody was like, "You mean Stinkfist?" And I was like, "What?" Like, what?
Oh, fucking A. Okay. Keith, close it off for us.
Okay, so Josue put me in a quandary.
Ooh. What'd I do?
Yeah, I know what I'm going to do. Okay. As always, I do my honorable mentions before we unveil the last song of the playlist.
Mm-hmm.
Honorable mention number 1, you mentioned Max earlier. Soulfly, Jump the Fuck Up. Love that fucking song. So good. Yin Yang Twins, Wait the Whisper song.
Oh, man, of course. Fuck.
Beat that pussy 12 times in a row, which is just okay. And my first ever dishonorable mention.
Oh.
A song that qualifies, and I want to make it clear that I would never pick in 100 years because it's a piece of shit. And that's Talk Dirty by Jason Derulo. Fuck you, Jason Derulo.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure it's very clear that there was absolutely no thought in my mind that was going to be picked in case anyone out there was wondering. So I'm left with 2 songs. And Josue, you put me in a quandary. So I'm going to make Wet Ass Pussy my last honorable mention.
Oh, God damn it. Of course you are.
Because you already put Megan on the playlist this week.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to because it's so raunchy. But yeah. Which leaves me with my last one. And this isn't actually sexually vulgar. This is straight up vulgar. And I mentioned before, the only ones that are just like obscenely vulgar are the ones I think that do it in the right way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this song is the best song ever for when you're in a certain mood. And you guys will know exactly what mood that is. It's I Don't Fuck With You by Big Sean.
Oh.
There's no better song for when you just want to tell somebody to eat shit. There's no better song.
You know who just introduced me to that song not too long ago?
Who?
Jess Bailey.
That does not surprise me after last week.
It's pretty awesome, yeah.
But it's so great, dude. Like, it's so funny. And I actually have a fun story about this song. My sister and her ex broke up a couple years ago, and he was always trying to get her back. And he made the mistake of sending her a link on YouTube, or on Facebook, not a private message. This was on her wall. Put a link to a song that reminded her of him, or him of her, something like "I'll Love You Forever," some cheesy song. My sister replied with the link to "I Don't Fuck With You," which is the coolest thing my sister's ever done in her life, by the way.
Harsh.
So
harsh.
It's so good. And that guy sucked anyway, so he deserved it. But yeah, I Don't Fuck With You by Big Sean. I'm not even a Big Sean fan. I'm not a DJ Mustard fan. I think it was DJ Mustard that did the beat. Like, I'm not a fan of any part of that song except
I even like the music video. I'm not gonna lie, with Kanye as a coach,
yes.
Like
yeah, I hate Kanye too. Like, I hate everything that goes into this, but it makes a perfect meal, like curry. Like, everything that goes in curry I don't like, but I love curry. So yeah, I Don't Fuck With You by Big Sean. Yeah, I gotta include it. So
fuck yeah, awesome. Yeah, that's a good one between like When I Suppose or this one. Yeah, solid picks. So going backwards, Daniel, did you have any honorable mentions?
I mentioned them when I was listening.
Okay, cool.
So good.
John, any honorable mentions? Last minute throwouts or other songs that didn't make the cut?
That didn't make the cut. Yeah, this is. It's called "Show Them to Me" by Rodney Carrington.
Okay.
It's more like wishful thinking on my behalf, but if you watch the live performance of it, it's great. It actually worked for him. It's a good watch. Yeah.
Cool. Honorable mentions from me was since I was on Vince Staples, I immediately went to Senorita. Just love that song. I just like it's so fucking hard. Like the chorus, just it's literally a prayer. Just like 9mm. My brother's my keeper. Like, oh fuck, where are we going with this? But also the music video is so fucking heavy. And then Priests, one of my favorite bands of all time that are no longer together. Priests with on their first album, the second project technically, their last song called "And Breeding," very very good shit. It gets very political, but very cool. But yeah, so those were mine. Honorable mentions that didn't make the cut. Great set of songs, guys. I fucking can't wait to add all of these bad songs, but great picks, everybody. So sweet. Closing this page off, rolling forward, we have Is It Time? Is it new release time? Keith, what do you see on your end?
Okay, so there's some kind of confusion as to what comes out this week. The Kanye album is supposed to come out this week, but we don't even have a track listing yet. I know he had a release party tonight and played it, so it's out there, but it's not on any streaming platform I can find yet. So keep that one in mind. The Kid Leroy has Fuck Love 3, which is out.
Okay.
The Foo Fighters album, the DGs / Hail Satin.
Oh my god, I just saw
their
it.
disco album is out. Yes, you heard me right. Foo Fighters disco album. And it's not a half-ass thing. It's a full-on disco album. I heard the single. So I love it. Jackson Browne has a new album out. Brittany Howard has a new album out.
Yes, that one. We're Childish.
Yeah. David Crosby. The Descendants. I don't see much else.
Honestly, yeah, I'm not. I just got stuck on the Brittany Howard one because it's just like, I mean, it's literally just like a re-release, but it's like reworked on as well. I guess just a shout out while I'm scrolling. Both for Valentine as a single. I'm not gonna listen to that.
That's funny. And then next week, I got because we record every 2 weeks, of course. Next week, the Billie Eilish album comes out.
Oh, okay.
So expect a thorough review from me about that. There's also there's a Beach Boys album coming out of live cuts from the late 60s, early 70s. I'm gonna check that out. And Bleachers has a new album out. It looks like Bleachers is the band for Jack Antonoff from Fun. So it's his side project off of Fun. So
I'm seeing a Descendants album, like fucking punk band Descendants.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I said that. Sorry. I thought you heard me.
Oh, cool.
Los Lobos has a new album coming out.
Dope, okay.
That's all I'm seeing. I know we're supposed to get the Silk Sonic album from Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak soon, but I thought it was supposed to be this week, but I don't see it on any list. So I'm actually checking right now.
Actually very light releases on this side. I was like, I'm kind of going back on last week's stuff too. Cool. Okay, cool. It'll be an easy list to go through. So other than that, moving forward with the roulette. What are we doing next time?
Okay, so our next category is Gone Too Soon. This is specifically not just deceased artists, but artists who definitely died when they had a lot left to give.
Oh, for sure. Okay.
Yeah. So, because there's a billion dead people, you know what I mean? But like, there are people that died way too early, and then there's people who died in their 80s, and so. As for our guest next week, we don't have one yet.
Ooh,
we don't have anyone has stepped up.
Shout out!
It'll be a surprise. But yeah,
cool. All right then. Well, that concludes this episode of Jukebox Vertigo. I need to thank the co-hosts for their great picks. John, it was so much fun having you, picking your brain, as particularly in this subject. It was so much fun having you, so you're welcome back anytime. If you want to insert any plugs or any stuff you need to shout out to.
Just listen to The Geeks Watch and VHS Gems. And if you want to talk to me, I'm also on Twitter. I'm at Magic Bollocks.
Hells yes. Oops. Lost the thing. And Daniel, plugs, inserts, shout outs.
Yeah, so it's going to be news to everybody listening today. I don't think I said it last week, or last recording, but Keith will now be my new co-host and televised heroics, and I cannot wait to talk shit about all the CW shows with Keith.
Yes.
So once those shows come back, you can, definitely listen to us and talk all the crap about them. But you can find me on Twitter at SuperCommyDaniel. I think I've been here long enough that I don't need to clarify, so SuperCommyDaniel. Thank you.
Excellent. And Keith.
Yeah, guys, you can find me on Twitter at WHI Podcast Keith. That's a reference to our other show, We Have Issues, where we review every week of comics. And you can find that show at WHI Podcast, both of which are part of the Geek Elite Media family. So you can find us at Geek Elite Media as well as geekelitemedia.com.
Sweet, sweet. And thank you to the listeners for your continued support on this musical sharing ride. You can find this show on Twitter at Jukebox Vertigo and myself at Josue Reads Josue. And mix those up. And over on Jukebox, where there'll be a public playlist where it'll be updated and shared weekly, as well as a short playlist to go with every new episode with our picks. Now let loose with your jams and geek out.
This concludes our broadcast. Beep.